This episode of Well Met is brought to you in partnership with Legion by Lenovo and Intel. Find out more about Legion by Lenovo on Facebook and Twitter at Legion by Lenovo.
We're almost there. Quiet down, everyone. This is not like any of our previous expeditions. This will be far more ambitious.
You're listening to Well Met,
a
Hearthstone podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com.
Well met.
Baseball, baseball, baseball. It's all about baseball here on the BlizzPro Baseball Podcast from BlizzPro.com. Just kidding. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Well Met. We're a Hearthstone podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com, and I did that just so we would not have to talk about baseball on opening day today. Anybody who does, Tannon and JR, will get immediately ejected from the Skype call. I'm calling it right now. My name is John Horstman. Today is April 3rd, 2017, and I'm from Denver, Colorado. But with me, of course, is the crew. First, from lovely Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it is the non-baseball fan, Tannon Grace. Hey, Tannon.
Hey, John. I don't really have much to say anymore today after that, so looking forward to the show.
Great. See, some rule with an iron fist is what they say in Podcasting 101. Let's jump over to Kansas City with our very own JR Cook. Hey, JR.
Hey, John. Pretty excited to be here this week. Not going to talk about the thing, but there is a BB-8 right behind me, which is my new little
That's so
project
amazing.
that I'm working on.
I'm gonna jump over to the full JR screen for a second so you can see that in the background. Even on the audio, I'm sure you can see it. So
yeah, I'm sure the audio can see it for sure.
Can you I want to put like a medium-sized dog in that thing and then have it roll around the house.
Yeah, I actually thought about that. I mean, it's like a hamster ball. So you can just put a little dog in there and have it run around. We actually considered putting like a remote control car in there and seeing what would happen.
My dog would be terrified of that thing. It's way bigger than she is.
Yeah, I think everyone would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be. You should. That's not a good thing.
That's my new little project. I'm going to be working on that quite a bit this upcoming summer. It'll be fun.
Nice. Well, hey, dudes. Welcome to the show. Dang it, now I messed up the cameras. This is tough. Podcasting is hard. Anyways, we've got an incredible show. It's the last week before we finally are out of Mean Streets of Gadget Sand. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Feels good, man. I'm ready. I've even told I've told my friends, my family members, my grandma. I've told everyone. I'm like, I'm just for right now with Hearthstone. I'm kind of done. And my grandma's like, what's a Hearthstone? But besides that, everybody else is like, yeah, I feel you, bro. So it's gonna be a fun show. I'm a little bit wired. I may or may not have had a sugar-free Red Bull, which is 3% more healthy than a traditional Red Bull, equaling 97% unhealthy. So, whatever. So I'm feeling good about the show. We've got a lot to talk about, but first let's talk about our weeks in gaming, in Hearthstone, and in everything else non-baseball related. First, JR, tell us about your week.
Well, I finished out. I think I topped out at rank 3, but then I fell back down to rank 5 before the season ended.
Pirate Warrior. Say it. Just say you did it. Just say you ran Pirate Warrior from rank 5 to rank 3.
No, it wasn't Pirate Warrior. I was playing that Hunter deck that I was talking about. That I played to rank 5, and then I played mid-range Shaman to rank 3, and then I just fizzled out from there. Yeah.
There it is.
But it was not Pirate Warrior. Mainly because I'll play Pirate Warrior at times when I have the warrior quest or something like that. But I am tired of Pirate Warrior. And, you know, Pirate Warrior is still going to be a thing when the new set comes out. It's still going to be powerful. So why continue playing it right now when you're going to be playing it for the next year?
Pirate Warrior to me is like, you're like, hey, I'm going to start lifting weights. And then Tannon walks up to you and says, you know, a faster way to get jacked? Steroids. That's Pirate Warrior, by the way. I'm just
performance. They're PEDs. They're performance enhancing drugs.
I mean, it basically is. Yeah, all the pirates you can play by turn 2 and then Fiery Winax. It is the CCG equivalent of a PED. Anyways.
I could like see the people coming in for a tournament and like the people coming in to do the drug test and they like test your computer and it's like, we find traces. We found traces of Pirate Warrior. Yeah.
You played 800 games of Pirate Warrior in the last 15 minutes because you only played till turn 4.
We saw traces of N'Zoth's first mate in this sample of your computer. I'm sorry, but you've been banned.
Oh my God. You emoted with Garrosh 876 times in the last week. I'm sorry. You will not be invited to the Hearthstone Global Games for bad manners. We're going to talk about that later, by the way. But JR, I owe you an applause, dude. That is no easy feat. In a meta like this, getting to rank 3, and because we do a podcast about Hearthstone, we don't have the luxury of like taking a couple weeks off. John, Tannon, that was rude. We don't have the option to do that. And so that takes dedication. I appreciate your dedication to Hearthstone excellence.
Yeah. My plan
3 gold stars.
Before Ungoro releases, I want to get back up to rank 5. That's my current plan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
From rank 3, you want to get up to rank 5?
No, right now, because a new season started, right?
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm at rank 14 or 13. I'm at rank 14 or 13.
Yeah.
I want to get up to rank 5 before Ungoro releases and see if I can push Legend after the new set comes out.
Do it. Oh, congratulations, by the way, to our good friend, former co-host Kevin Hovdestad, who did push Legend. We won't talk about the deck that he used because it's PEDs, but he did indeed hit Legend. So I think that's time 4 or 5 for him. So congrats to the dude living out in Irvine. All right, Tannon, what's up with
he just plugged into the Blizzard servers and cheated, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
You got the Ben Brode server.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tannon, what have you been up to this week in Hearthstone, man?
I didn't play too much ladder. I actually did play a little bit. I made sure to continue to do all my quests that I could to make sure I get all my gold ready for the new set coming out, so I can get as many free packs, pay for gold as I could. Did the tavern brawls to make sure and signed in every day to make sure to get all my free stuff. I think I put it out on social media. Hey, remember, this is your public service announcement. Make sure you sign in.
That today.
Yeah, make sure you
do
sign
it right
in.
now.
Do it right now. Well, yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
If you're in Twitch chat or whatever and you haven't logged in, do it.
I know that I have been slacking on my actual Hearthstone play in the last couple of weeks, but we talked about the meta is just so bad and boring. When the new set comes out this month, I 100% expect myself to go to Legend. I will probably stream and YouTube myself opening like tons of packs and building decks. I plan on possibly being more, around on YouTube and stuff like that, like filming myself do some more content creative stuff like that. So expect a lot more Hearthstone and a lot more interaction in the game for me over the next few weeks compared to the last, because I'll be a lot less bored. This new set is sweet.
I would love if, and it's a little bit of a forgotten, well-met tradition, but I would love to sit down and open packs with you guys. I would love to do that and stream it. I would love to do that. So we might do that. We'll see. But just stay tuned. How many are you going to open?
Probably around 100.
Okay, then I'm going to do 200.
Okay. Can I get you locked in for that?
No, you cannot.
Top out.
I bought the 50 pre-order, and then I think I have with my gold and everything and my other free packs, I think I have roughly 28 packs more that I can open. So I'll be at like 78 is all I plan on doing.
I'm going to open the 3 free Ungoro packs I get before the stream, before the release. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward. We had someone, Korova, sent us a message on Twitter, be like, "Am I the only one who hates opening card packs?" And I responded to him and I say, if there was a button that like let me just automatically open anything without a legendary or even an epic in it, I would be so happy. Just imagine being able to like open all crappy packs, exact wording, open all crappy packs, and then you could go ahead and then open up the ones with your epics and legendaries. I would be a happy camper, because 100 decks or 100 packs, and what, 75 of them probably are just commons and rares. Like, let's just let's circumvent the process. Let me give you my money faster, Blizzard. That's all I'm asking.
And this expansion's even like worse on trying that, because it feels like there's a lot of legendary cards that are central around certain decks that you want to build, especially with the quest system, because now you have 2 legendary cards per class, and that's rough.
That is rough. And one's a spell. So yeah. Anyways, so that's what's going on with us. Oh, for me. Jeez. Hearthstone. It's still on the front page on my iPhone. So that's good. That's progress.
Still podcast about it.
Still podcast about. I still facilitate discussion between 2 Hearthstone players, and crack wise jokes and joke wisecracks in between. But for the most part, it has been pretty barren in Hearthstone land. When I was in Florida, like it said, I got 3 12-win arena runs. Played 2 more this week, and got up to rank 20, just to make sure I got the card back from last season, because I did not touch the ladder outside of getting to rank 20. I zipped right up there with Pirate Warrior to rank 20. I'm in like rank 20. I'm seeing like shield bearers and leper gnomes, and I'm like, Pirate Warrior, dead by turn 4. Have a good life, sir. And I probably made 5 or 6 people uninstall their games for the first time, because they're brand new to the game. They're just, like, oh, cool. I have this Argent Squire into the Sun Cleric. What is it? Shattered Sun Cleric into Raid Leader. How about that, bro? And I'm like, oh, I have 18 damage on board, and it's turn 4. Have a good life. And they're like, this game isn't fair. I don't understand. So sorry, Blizzard.
I'm still impressed by the arena run you went on, by the way.
I had no
idea you knew how to play arena at all. Like,
well, when it comes down to playing the most effective minions on curve, I am pretty good at it. I'm also a drafting expert, in the sense that I guarantee that every single one of my my drafts is loaded with AoEs and legendaries. That's the key. If you want to go on those arena run streaks, draft a lot of legendaries and a lot of AoE. You're welcome. John's arena tips.
Let's try that one.
Not luck based at all. Not at all. Let's go into the news.
This week in Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
Hey, thanks to our friends of the show, Albert T, TheRealBen, Correl, and Viriatus. Yeah, we're going with that one. Thank you so much for your support of the show. If you like Well Met, if it makes you laugh in your job, in your car, on your walk, wherever you are, thank you so much for listening. But if you're like, hey, you know what? I got a couple extra bucks. I don't need this Starbucks today. I'm going to go support a podcast that entertains me for at least an hour and 20 minutes when John just goes way overboard, every week, head on over to patreon.com/wellmetpodcast to find out how you can get involved. So first, we got some news, boys and girls. Journey to Un'Goro, we finally have an official launch date. It is going to be April 6th. Way too long of a sounder, especially when I don't talk over it. So April 6th is going to be the launch that was revealed on the live stream that happened earlier this week. Speaking of the live stream, did you guys get to tune in? What did you think about it? Either of you, go.
Yeah, I watched the full thing. I thought it was, well, it kind of sucked at the beginning because they had technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to rush it a little bit.
I don't know what technical difficulties mean. Yeah. When you watch Well Met, you get flawless production.
Right.
Every time.
Absolutely.
Like Tannon's uncentered camera at the beginning of the show. Sorry.
Every week, man. Every week.
Just stay in the same place. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
But I really enjoy the streams where they actually like play the games and kind of reveal the cards as they're playing, and you kind of get to see the decks kind of get played and how the card works, because there are still some cards out there. Joji, there's still some.
Get him under control. I'm just kidding. Let him do whatever he wants. He's a puppy and he deserves the world.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Because there are still some cards out there that I don't fully understand just reading the rules on how they're going to work, because Hearthstone is so consistent in their wording and how a card works that, you can totally expect it to work that way every time. No. I kind of like seeing how it plays out a little bit. And I like that a lot better than just showing the cards and going, here they are. Now we'll show you the effect. Cool. I don't know. I just like seeing the games played. So that and Frodan and Ben Brode have a pretty good bromance brewing. It's pretty fun to watch.
They do. I feel bad. Frodan got a bad rap for this reveal because of the technical issues. Yeah. Because of the technical issues, they kind of skirted through the cards faster, and he had seen the cards ahead of time. He had said on Reddit, and so cards that were interesting to us because it was our first time seeing them were not the first time to him, and he was trying to get through the cards and get through there on the allotted time. So I feel bad. Personally, I think Frodan continues to do an awesome job. And I still, though, I will say the day 9 reveal was my favorite reveal for Hearthstone ever. Number 1, because I love day 9. Number 2, because he thinks about it so intentionally and so differently than other people. Like when they showed the new Elise card that lets you get an Un'Goro pack, he's like, can we go back? Can we go back and make sure we see those? Immediately going, what if we don't see these cards again? We might get some extra cards out of this. I'm like, that dude's brilliant. It's an absolutely brilliant way to think about it. Frodan, though, easily a close second. I think that is going to be. I think that we're going to see more day 9 coming through. Hopefully,
and I would like to see day 9 and Peter Whalen playing the game and revealing cards that way, because those two had a great conversation back and forth as well. Because Peter Whalen is a incredibly smart dude when it comes to this game and has some incredible, awesome insight. And him and Day 9 working together on that, because Day 9's curiosity and everything, it just paired extremely well. And to be able to watch them play, I think would be awesome. Much like the same way that Ben Brode and Frodan were.
Peter Whalen is so freaking cool. We got to interview him at BlizzCon. It was him and Rochelle Davis. And we were nervous. I'm still nervous around anybody else, honestly. Anybody else.
Yeah, that was the most nervous I had ever been in an interview, and I don't know why.
But Peter and Rochelle are the two most unintimidating and like nice and just like excited people. You know those people who are just excited and it's contagious? That's Peter Whalen and Rochelle Davis. If you haven't already,
they were so extremely nice to us and everything. It was great.
If you go to youtube.com/BlizzPro or search for like BlizzPro, Rochelle Davis, Peter Whalen, you'll see our interview with them where we got to talk about Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, got to talk a little bit more about the game design, the art, and the system design behind that. It was pretty fun. So, yeah. Anyways, Tannon, what did you think about the stream, man? Were you as engrossed into it as JR was?
Not as much. I had the distinct unpleasure of trying to tune in right when it started. And so, the stream went down, had technical difficulties, and I was only going to get to watch the beginning of the stream. So I only got to see a little bit of it, but I do like you said, the bromance between Ben Brode and Frodan and stuff. So like it worked out pretty well, and we got to see some of the cards and what they do. I'm a lot like JR though. It's like some of these cards are worded really weird in this set. I want to know exactly what they do. We're not getting that. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to figure this out the hard way. I'm going to lose a game because of it probably. But other than that, I thought it was a good reveal. But it's hard to live up to that day 9 stream, like you guys said, and kind of went off on. I loved it.
Yeah. I agree. Day 9, Sean Plott. If you're listening, you can come on WellMed at any time. So that was the first big piece of news. And during that launch, during that video, we actually got a piece of information we weren't expecting. We're going to get a new UI feature. What that is when you mouse over your deck, you actually finally get to see how many cards are in your hand. That's the real news this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Because counting is hard.
Counting, well...
I'm not a numbers scientist.
Tannon is not a numbers scientist, but I will say this. When I was playing with like Freshka and Ray quite a bit for about a month there. We would play like 5-6 hours a day. One of the things Freshka has the whole game life hacked. Like when you're on the Orgrimmar board and your opponent plays a shield slam, you shut the gate kind of thing. Like he's life hacked like nobody else. He's using the game board to track cards. Like that's how unbelievable this guy is at Hearthstone. And when he was telling me about, well, if the cards line up to this pixel, that's how many cards you have in your hand. When your cards are aligned to this pixel, that's how many cards you have in your hand.
Yep.
Like
that's how I do it.
You just shouldn't have to do that for a game as accessible as Hearthstone. A game that like states out when you deal damage to an enemy minion, destroy it or whatever. If you write that out on a card, but you don't, which we finally get poisonous, by the way. How great is that? When you get that on a card, but you don't get how many cards are in your hand, it's just like, I don't understand. So we finally get that. I think we can all agree that's a great thing. I want to see before and after how many people tap with 10 cards in their hand.
That's what I want to see. Like people are still going to do it, but I think it's actually the coolest thing to come out of the reveal stream was the hand counter. Like a lot of people were talking about it on social media. They were like pretty excited about it.
Not the cards?
No, they were like way more excited about the fact that they could just mouse over their deck and it tells you how many cards are in. Are you more excited
about the mouse over, or are you more excited about the cards?
It saves me like 20 seconds or 15 seconds on my turn sometimes.
Takes you 15 seconds to count maximum 10 cards.
Come on, again, I'm not a number scientist. I don't get it.
Can you say that closely into your microphone, please? My name is Tannon Grace, and I need 15 seconds to count 10 cards.
I usually have to count it twice. That's the problem.
Come on, Tannon. This isn't rocket surgery here.
Rocket surgery? The Rockets didn't have surgery? Like,
jeez. This podcast is spiraling out of control. Thankfully, we have our next piece of news to get us back on track. Designer Insights, Fireside Gatherings with Nat Pagle, Pat Nagel. I wonder why his mother named him that. Probably after the World of Warcraft character. Just kidding. It's a joke.
After the great fisherman.
Yes. The great fisherman Nat Pagel. Anyways, Nat Pagel, Pat Nagel. I'm never going to get that right.
You're still going to do it backwards. Yeah.
Pat Nagel is on the game design team, but specifically he's coming to discuss Fireside Gatherings, and Fireside Gatherings are actually getting a huge upgrade here. And I don't know why you guys wanted Sam on the show last week and not this week, because I gots to know.
I had no idea this was going to get announced now.
Which, Sam, by the way, great job. You were on a Hearthstone podcast to talk about Fireside Gatherings. You were already out there in Irvine having these conversations, I would guess, or at least having these conversations with Blizzard people through email or whatever other channels. You were on the podcast and you didn't spill a thing.
Yeah.
That's good job, dude. Good job. I respect that and I resent that. If one little thing could have gotten through, one little thing, do you know how much a post would have exploded on Reddit? Anyways, sorry. Selfish thinking. So here are the new features we got from Fireside Gatherings. Number one, location tagging. So they're actually using geotagging. So once you get your Fireside Gathering approved and the location approved, that it looks like they're going to actually geotag that location. When you get in that location, you actually get some new UI features, which is pretty cool, including Fireside Brawls. So you can have some different brawls set up, like Tavern Brawls. They didn't show too much of the UI there, what that would look like, the choices you would have. But that's pretty neat. Let's talk about this for a second, because this is a pretty big implication. Once you are in a Fireside Gatherings, you have access to alternative game mode menus. Tannon, discuss.
So I'm pretty excited about this. So you get to have different Fireside Brawls just for Fireside Gatherings. So it's obviously an extra incentive to show up to these before, the mountain of them that we already had. And they're going to be different than the ones that you get per week most of the time. Like I said, they're going to be some unique ones just to Fireside Gatherings. I'm extremely excited about this because how many times have you done a brawl where it's like you're teaming up against like the Mechazord or whatever it was called, and your opponent doesn't do what you need him to do on the turn? Now you can like sit across from your buddy and be like, hey, like we do this and this turn. Like now we've got him right where we want him. And stuff like that. So like I'm pretty excited to see the implications of getting to play brawls against someone you can see in real life, or like you don't just have to emote at them. I can kind of yell at you across the room now too, which is like pretty exciting.
Nice. I would agree with that, minus the fact that even when my teammates misplay, I still overcome. I carry the back. You should see the size of these back muscles in those cooperative tavern brawls. JR, what do you think, dude? How do you feel about this game mode?
Yeah, I think this is great. Like it supposedly works like tavern brawls, except it's going to have some additional stuff to make the experience of playing face-to-face better. And that's the way that they kind of explained it. They didn't go into details on how exactly they were going to work. It doesn't sound like it's going into beta for at least some time. Hopefully it goes into beta before this next Fireside Gathering I have that Sam's putting on at the end of this month. Because I'm sure that he would be one of the ones that gets to beta test. So I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
But I think it's great. Like anything that they can do to help make Fireside Gatherings more fun and get more people excited about showing up to them, the better.
Cool. I would agree with that. I'm really excited about this. I'm sure, Sam, if you're listening, like we're like 2 weeks away from having you back on. Check your email. Because I want to hear more from you about this. Absolutely.
I know that he knows more about it because he got to see this stuff ahead of time.
Start emailing Blizzard, asking them what you can and can't say on a podcast. That's all I'm saying. Next up, you can create your own tavern sign. This is pretty cool. So when you're in that geographic location, you know how it kind of shows like friends nearby? There's a Firesides nearby button, and it shows the little a little tavern sign there. So that's pretty cool. And then the big thing here, though, is this is going to start rolling out slowly, starting with selected innkeepers. I wonder who's going to be included in that. So this is a great move in the right direction. I think that as esports in Hearthstone continues to search for and find an identity, I think the grassroots Hearthstone movement is still its biggest opportunity for growth. I love playing Hearthstone with people in person. I really do. And when you start to personify Hearthstone and make that personable, I think Hearthstone is way more fun. Tannon, JR, I know you both can attest to how great Magic is face-to-face. And I know you can both attest to how awful the Magic the Gathering online client is, but also just that level of connection that you lose, that level of community that you lose. And so I think that's really cool. So that's going to do it for the news this week, except we do have one piece of esports news, and I deleted my esports sounders. So the pro corner.
That was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Anyways, it was all right.
This
the sounder's great.
This week.
That wasn't the sounder that just played?
You don't flatter, JR. That's a one-trip ticket. That's a one-trip ticket to the ban zone. I will hang up this Skype call so fast. So this week, we did get some news, and we talked a little bit about it previous weeks about Team Germany having Ponyhof on the ballot. Very controversial. Big names like Forsen and Zixo spoke out against this. Forsen went as far as to say that he would not attend if Ponyhof attended. And actually, they removed Ponyhof from the ballot, kind of. They removed him from the tournament. So Ponyhof was voted in, and then they removed them. But believe it or not, it wasn't because, at least it wasn't publicly, because of the viewbotting allegations and the adminning and playing and admitting in favor of the team you're playing for types of allegations. But instead, it was because of an interaction, or a few of them, between Sintolol, who is the points leader for Germany, and Ponyhof. And it was really vulgar. We're not going too much into it. We don't like talking about drama too much. But what I do like talking about is justice. I'm just kidding. What I do like talking about is when Blizzard takes a stance against behavior that is not representative of their brand, right? And so Sintolol said some things about Ponyhof that you should never say about dictators and genocide. Enough said. And Ponyhof, talked about the orientation of his parents. Why? What are you guys doing on stream that you would go so far as to bring those things up publicly? You shouldn't bring them up privately. In fact, if you're thinking about those things, I would already say you're in the wrong spot. But in this case, they went as far as to go, oh, well, how about I say it on stream or in a public Discord? So good on Blizzard. Thank you for ridding them of that. And thanks for the stance. Thank you for the stance on getting rid of that kind of crap. There's a lot of crap going on. And to be honest, when you're on Twitch and you're streaming 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, it can be really difficult to segregate gameplay and talking and getting to know your chat and letting your chat getting to know you, and getting a little bit too loose, especially depending on the type of person that you are. So I feel really good about this. Tannon, JR, do you have any other thoughts on the removal of Sinto LOL and Ponyhof from the Hearthstone Global Games?
I'm glad they did it. And as a reminder to people out there, don't be an idiot or a jerk to people, because that's dumb.
Otherwise, you'll end up playing against Tannon in post-show podcasts. So no, those people aren't idiots and jerks. But Tannon, wait, hold on, Tannon.
Yeah.
How did you do last week against Josh? Against Josh.
Nice pivot. Thank
you. That was a super hard pivot because I was making a joke for something I didn't mean.
I saw where you were going with it. I got it. But I got swiftly 3-0'd, and it wasn't really close. So
it wasn't.
It was a little embarrassing.
It was actually really close. The second game, you had lethal. JR didn't believe me. I had to count it out 4 different ways because it was a little bit difficult to see. You had a 2-turn lethal. You would have won. But
Josh,
I
probably just got some tunnel vision there.
Josh
asked, the better player won. So.
I don't want to say your last name, but he may go by Jay Stowell on Twitter. So I don't know, dude. If you don't want me to say your last name, don't put it in your Twitter feed. Anyways, congratulations to him decimating Tannon 3-0.
Yeah,
that was fun to cast, by the way. So
I'm going to go back and listen to what you guys had to say and judge you on your casting skills. I've cast a couple games of Hearthstone in my life, so I may have some notes for you later.
Yeah. Let me know when the finals are.
So I definitely wanted to make a comment or two on the Ponyhof Sintolol LOL thing. So not only did they get taken out of this tournament, I believe Sinto LOL was kicked off of his team, right?
Yeah, Millennium.
That's going to cost him actual money. That he could have maybe made money in HCG or something else that he was doing, but now that's directly taking money out of his pocket. So good on them for, taking a stand in some way with that. I do have one small problem with this, and it's not with them getting banned. Don't get me wrong. They, deserving justice, whatever you want to say here. It sets a pretty bad precedent in a lot of ways because of what JR likes to call sometimes them being inconsistent with certain things. Because I've seen stuff equivalent to this with big players before on social media, like literally posting stuff on Twitter, not in a Discord, and just no one even getting, a slap on the wrist for it. So I would like to see maybe some more consistency with it. I think you'll see people be more careful in the future with what they say and how they say it, which is, I think, the biggest and best thing to come out of this. It sucks that people have to lose their jobs or their station because of it, but we're all going to, be in a better place for it. So kudos to Blizzard.
Yeah. And honestly, Tannon, I'm glad you said that because I feel relatively similarly. Like Sinto LOL virtually dismantled his Hearthstone career in the matter of 30 seconds. Whereas Pony still has a relatively, successful Twitch stream and still, has a pretty large Twitter following and is still going to continue to kind of.
And it's going to get just as big because there's people that eat this crap up.
He's going to get extra followers from it. He's going to get a boost from it.
Yeah.
Remember,
I don't know.
We've seen it in the past when someone does something like this or says something like this and they get boost from it. So, it doesn't always have the desired effect.
It's going to be interesting to see. We just wanted to update you all on that because we talked about it last week. I want to do that, but I really want to talk about card reviews if that's all right. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Journey to Ungoro. How did you convince me to do this? Journey to Ungoro. Whatever.
All right. Welcome. I had to I'm like, why was this not
don't be scared.
What? Hey there, don't be scared. My name is Ben Brode. I logged on to Reddit and heard that I should sing an ode, something like that. Anyways, I don't know why that wasn't our sounder from the beginning, but it is going forward. We've got some cards to review, and then believe it or not, at the end of everything, we've got some
player versus player.
But until then, we've got some cards to review. So let's go ahead and jump in and do that. Good. Everything lined up on the video. So first, this is all for all cards, I believe, that were revealed from the reveal stream and other streams throughout the week. We're going to review the rest of the quests as well as a couple of other things. So first, we've got the Warrior Quest. Finally, I have the Warrior Quest. It's the Fire Plume's Heart. It's a 1 mana because it's a quest. It says play 7 taunt minions, reward sulphurous. Either way. And sulphurous is a 3 mana, 4 attack, 2 durability weapon that reads Battle Cry. Your hero power becomes Ragnaros. Deal 8 damage to a random enemy. JR, talk to us about Taunt Warrior. Tannon, go to the bathroom. Chat, take a breather.
So Bolster Warrior is totally going to be a thing, even though Bolster, I think, is rotating out. So, you know, no, I actually, like, I'm looking at this going, okay, this would have been cool if Bolster still was ever going to be a thing, but Bolster's rotating out. So now they're going to make, you know, the Warrior Quest taunt themed. And what sucks about it is it's play 7 taunt minions. It's not summon. However, if it was summon, this quest would be completely broken because there are some good cards out there where you can summon multiple taunt creatures and get this pretty quickly, actually. So that's probably why it says play instead of summon. Other than that, like, it's just, I just don't see it getting played.
What?
I don't see it being very good.
Tannon, why is JR wrong?
Well, I mean, people are going to play it because it's cool, right? I mean, you're going to get quest played because it's cool. I mean, like, getting played versus being competitive, I see what you're saying, JR. But are you ready for 30-minute Hearthstone games? Because you're going to get it with this card being printed. It's going to be mono taunt control from all these warrior decks. And they're going to be playing some pretty crazily bad cards in there, too. It's just going to take forever for you to actually kill them. This ability is pretty cool, right? This weapon is pretty powerful. I'm pretty excited to see this show up randomly in some spots, you know, where you create random weapons. Like there's the new card that every turn it's in your hand, it becomes a different random weapon. And getting to equip this one out of nowhere is going to be pretty sweet in some games.
Can you do that? Can you do that, or does it have to be a collectible one?
I'm not sure. Like, can you get this from Blingtron and Wild? You know, like if you can, that would be really sweet, actually. So this would be like another cool one for like Malkarok to hit and stuff. So I'd be pretty excited if this one could show up randomly and stuff, because I'm not sure that works with collectible versus non-collectible, but
I don't think it does. I think it has to be collectible.
Oh god, I was hoping for that so bad, but anyway, yeah, I don't see this getting played at like high tier level, but you're definitely going to play against it, and I'm not looking forward to the 20-minute games.
This is also the only request reward that is 3 mana instead of 5.
That's true. It's actually cheaper and a little bit more aggressive, but your deck's really bad and can't win, so.
Right.
Yeah, but these like 3 10s.
Yeah, so I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this cannot be played by the 1 mana change your weapon every turn, because I think it has to be collectible. But still, if you can find a way to make that happen, and let's be honest, you could probably find a way to make that happen. That's a Ragnaros. It's a Ragnaros every turn. I don't know. I'm gonna try a couple sulphurous decks, and I'm gonna see if I can make it work.
I have a question though. So if we play this in Wild and we sulphurous, what happens if we improve or upgrade our hero power? What happens after this one?
What do you mean, like upgrade? Like with Justicar?
Does it only do basic ones?
Yeah, it only does.
Yeah, Justicar only does bacon.
I wanted to do 16 randomly.
There are ones that like replace your hero power with like Shadow Form. If you somehow stole Shadow Form, I believe it would change that again, right? Because it just overwrites it. But besides that, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you played Justicar after this, you would actually be able to get 4 armor because it would take whatever your starting hero power was.
Oh, so it would overwrite this one back into the original? Oh, that's actually
I think so. I think so.
You went through all these trouble to get the
Sir
hero
Finley.
power. Yeah,
Sir
that would be a pun.
accident. Yeah. So that's going on. I will say this is really interesting to me because this feels like this deck is the direct counter to the Hunter quest, which is play however many 1 mana minions. So they're like, nah, how about you play against all my taunt minions? So I like that. So that's Sulfurous. Next up, this is actually one that was submitted by our community of listeners over at our Facebook group. Any Patreon or any patron who's a member of our Patreon has the ability to submit their thoughts to topics like this, as well as our Discord, discord.gg/BlizzPro, said they want us to talk about Dinomancy. That's not, never mind, no joke. It's a 2-mana epic Hunter spell. Reads, your hero power becomes give a beast +2/+2. There are a lot of people who are really excited about this hero power, especially if we're getting all these 1-mana beasts that complete this quest, and now you're giving them +2/+2. How freaking sweet is this? Tannon, how excited are you about this card?
I am actually pretty excited about this. It's weird to not want to smork with your hero power when you're Hunter, but if you're playing the beast deck that we've kind of referenced the last few weeks, this is something you might be in the market for. I don't know about playing 2 of it, but definitely playing at least like 1 in your deck. There's some situations where this card is like, playing it as 4 mana and then using it for 2 mana the next turn. You can create some board states that are like actually not overcomeable by your opponent. So I definitely see this one getting played in the future, and I kind of like it.
Tannon kind of likes it, JR. Do you kind of like Dinomancy?
I mean, I like the fact that we're changing hero powers a little bit, right? Or that we're like, shadow form and things like that. Where you get to do something a little bit different with your hero power. However, there was a card that never got to see play a lot that allowed you to kind of target your hero power for Hunter. And be able to, do 2 damage to creatures and things like that. That didn't really see play very often. I don't know if this will. Now, I see you guys in chat saying something about give target friendly beast +2/+2, but does this give a beast, like any beast on the board, +2/+2?
No, it's targeted. Otherwise, it would say give a random friendly beast.
You target 1 beast, but is it a friendly beast or can it be your opponent's beast? That's what I'm curious about.
Beast. I believe it's any beast.
Because I could potentially see some really silly tech play where you buff up your opponent's beast, like if Beast Hunter becomes popular, and then you plop down like Big Game Hunter or something like that and kill it.
Or what was the one where you could give a minion taunt and then you would just use Black Knight on it?
Right. Or something like that. Houndmaster
shenanigans.
But I think Houndmaster only does your own.
Right.
But something like that, right? So, there can be some fun little tech options that you might be able to do with that. Other than that, like I like the changing of hero powers, but I'm not a big fan of this in general. Like, it could be cool, but I don't see it getting played very often.
Well, the thing that
I don't agree with that. Sorry, go ahead, Go ahead, Tannon.
The thing I like about it is, like, JR, he brought up a really good point here that they're allowing us to change our hero power and give us a little more flexibility. And I think this is actually a pretty good idea from Blizzard and a good thought and look forward, because a lot of the cards that they're printing for Hunter are more board centric now than they were in the past. It's less smork you down and more let's play some beasts, let's get some value out of our minions, and let's play to the board and attack. And this lets you turn your hero power into something that's actually what you're trying to do, instead of you controlling the board and then randomly just shocking your opponent for 2 every now and then.
Right. What I like this card, and I like this card a lot because in the past, any hunter deck that wasn't fast sucked because your hero power became virtually worthless in that sense that you weren't help developing your board. You weren't help maintaining your board. You weren't helping to destroy your opponent's board or savor your life. Instead, all you were trying to do is just take 2 damage off every time. And it just didn't feel that great. This basically says, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to control the board a little bit more as Hunter. And I really like it. I don't know how good it's going to be, but I love the fact that with a single card, Hunter now has a different way to play and use their hero power. And so I think that's great. I'm really excited about this card. It's one of my favorite cards, and I hope that it does well.
Yeah, cool. I mean, turn 5, you could essentially Animal Companion and get a 6/4 Hogger. So I guess that's something, right?
Yeah, I mean, it lets you play to the board a little bit more, you know, like, I mean, they're printing so many, like, cheap beasts, too. This definitely plays in pretty well with the Hunter quest of playing a bunch of 1-drops. You know, this allows you to actually, like, make your 1-drops more relevant late in the game, right? Like, you know, if you're going to be drawing a 1-mana spell on turn 4, 5, and 6, or a 1-mana minion. Yeah,
but that's also assuming that you are going to be playing, like, a straight-up Beast Hunter as well, which there's enough beasts out there for Hunter to make it viable. But
for sure,
even then, do I want to take 2 mana or 1 card and put it in my deck to facilitate that, or do I just want to do 2 damage to the face and play good stuff on curve where I'm not going to hero power? You know, it's one of those things. I would rather play on curve and not hero power at all.
Yeah, I definitely can't blame you for doing that, for wanting to go face, or wanting to smork and get the game over with as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's like Hunter's identity, you know, for the first, year and a half that we had the class, maybe, you know, like the first few seasons and first few expansions. I think they're trying to get something different, you know, and this is like a move in that direction. And I kind of like it. I like the fact that, you know, we're getting, you know, a different kind of just possibility here, because you can still smork. I mean, you can still play all, you know, like all the burn spells and stuff too that are from the original set, and just beat them up as quickly as possible. But if you're going to be playing against Taunt Warrior, you know, all day long on the ladder, I would be giving my minions +2/+2.
Speaking of Taunt Warrior, that is the next card that we have up here. So we've got the next card up is Tar Lord, not Star Lord. He's a 7 mana, 1/11, 1 attack, 11 health, elemental with taunt, and has +4 attack during your opponent's turn. So he becomes a 5/11 on your opponent's turn for 7 mana. That's a pretty beefy taunt dude that's not going to do a lot of damage on your turn. What do you think about Tar Lord, Tannon?
I am not a fan. I think this card sucks. I'm just going to go ahead and just blatantly put it. Because here's the thing. It's a 1/11 on offense. It's a 5/11 on defense. But we've heard, you know, people joking about, like, oh, what's the best card in the set? It's the Black Knight. You know, if people start playing cards like this, you're going to get the Black Knight. You're going to get, Quick Shot from Hunter and stuff like that. And if you invest 7 mana into this card, hoping that it stabilizes the board against your opponent, and there's like Black Knight attack you with everything, you're just dead. Right?
You want the Black Knight. This is how you get the Black Knight.
Yeah. This is how you get Black Knight, people. Like, when you make cards like this is what starts happening. And anyone who's ever had that card played against them into like a big tempo swing, you know you're dead immediately on the spot. So I don't love this card. How do you feel about it?
I am never gonna play it, to be honest. The only time that I would play this card is if I want to complete the quest. Like, if I am playing the deck that gets me to become Ragnaros. That's the only way that I see myself playing this. I do like these cards, though, where you're getting a plus attack on your opponent's turn. I'm just not a big fan of this one. I'm a big fan of the ones that are lower cost, that's going to help you control the game up front against aggro. This one just doesn't feel that way. Like, it's not going to help you against aggro at all, because if you're on turn 7, you want to play something beefy. You don't want to play a thing that's going to do 1 damage on your attack and just protect you. You're playing at this point to defend and maybe hopefully get your quest done. And that really feels about it. Like, it's not an aggressive play. It's a defensive play that I feel is going to lose you the game.
John, how do you feel about this card?
5 mana, count me in. 5
mana you would play this card?
5 mana, count me in.
Yeah,
7 mana,
totally.
it's a little rich. It's a little rich for my blood. At the same time, like, again, you guys are talking about it as a proactive meta play. So outside of the game. So let's say you're like, dang, I'm really starting to lose control here. I'm able to stave off the first couple of rounds of progression, but these of progression, and these decks are beating me and stuff. And around turn 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm just getting overrun. I still think this is a solid card. The Black Knight is a reaction to this card. Will this card ever be meta? Will this just be an auto include? No. For the exact reasons that you said. There's way too many hard removal counters to this card. At the same time, like we saw Taunt Warrior coming up, and we saw Niche do really well. Because of that, nobody ran Black Knight then. No one's like, well, I'm going to make sure that Taunt Warrior, I don't get wrecked by Taunt Warrior. Nobody ran that. Nobody threw hexes into their aggro shaman. And so in that respect, I don't necessarily I don't think you don't run it just because Black Knight is a thing that exists. I think you stop running it because people start running Black Knight, but I don't think that you...
Yeah. I don't think this card will I don't think this card will be a reason why Black Knight would exist again. It's the other taunt minions that are cheaper than this that are going to be good.
Right.
Is the reason why Black Knight's going to be a thing.
Right.
And the reason why this is bad.
Right.
In the end, I just don't see a 7 mana taunt, because if you compare it to a 8 mana Tyrion, right? Like, you get a 6/6 with taunt and divine shield and 15 damage, in a 5/3 weapon. Or you can have a 7 mana 1/11 that sometimes, staves off 3-4 cards at a time. Like that's best case scenario, right? You go like 3 for 1, 4 for 1, which is good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. But how often does that not work, right? Or how often do you not even make it to turn 7? Or how often is it at that point you're at turn 7 and you've already won it anyway, and there's plenty more cards that you can introduce into your deck that would be more applicable to more offensive strategies and more strategic things than how do I stave off the aggression that I'm getting. So I'm with you guys. I'm lukewarm on this one. All right.
I'm ice cold. Not even lukewarm. Just ice cold.
Sorry. I'm lukewarm on being more than ice cold.
Okay. Let's make it more complicated.
There we go. Think that one through, chat. Choose one. All right. So next up, we've got Jungle Giants. It is the Druid quest and the last one that we're going to be discussing. We've reviewed all of them. Jungle Giants is a 1 mana legendary quest spell. Reads, quest, summon 5 minions with 5 or more attack. Reward Barnabas. Barnabas the Stomper is a 5 mana 8/8 beast that reads, battle cry, reduce the cost of minions in your deck to 0. Keywords: deck, not hand. Not hand, correct?
Right.
Deck.
Yep.
So any minion that you draw after you play this minion, a 5 mana 8/8, which already, and a beast on itself, is great. Any minion you draw beyond that point is free. JR. 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10. Or 2 out of 10.
So I think the design of it's really cool. Like and I say this about every single quest. Like the design of it is really cool. I like the idea behind it. But I look at that and I'm just like, as long as Jade Druid is a thing, like I would just rather pump out big, huge Jades like all game and play, if the meta is slowed down enough where, if control, ever becomes a thing, Jade Druid just stomps control because you can just sit there and put out bigger and bigger creatures all the time. And I would just rather do that. At the same time, like, I could see this working where if you had any kind of like this kind of replaces the Aviana combo with Kun, right? Because now you can play your stuff for free if it's in your deck and you haven't already drawn it, which sucks because that deck type is very much around drawing cards and getting the combo in your hand and then playing it. Well, if I already have the combo in my hand, this quest becomes useless. So it's one of those things where I don't think it's going to work with that too much either. So you just want to build a deck with some really big dudes and hope that it works, I guess. I'm not totally excited about it.
All right.
I'm not totally excited about playing it, I should say.
Tannon, what do you think?
I'm going to actually answer with the the grade system that you gave it. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 with an asterisk of a 10 out of 10.
Wrong.
Oh yeah, I saw the look on your face.
You can't do that.
No.
That does not work that way.
Yes, I can.
This is not an if or.
This is how it works. Let me explain. Okay, so here's the problem. You're going to have to build a deck that can support this quest, right? And there's going to be times where your draws just don't pan out because you have all these expensive minions that cost a bunch and have really high power, and your draw is just going to suck. But then there's the games that it's going to work, and like you're going to play this Barnabas, and it's going to be great. But you probably already won, or you're probably already winning. And then how do you like keep facilitating your turns next turn? Yeah, you draw like a minion that costs 0, you play it, and then like you're not doing anything else. And what if your opponent is just still attacking you and then kills your minion somehow? Or, just plays a taunt or something. So it's cool, it's fun, it can be good, it can be powerful. I don't think it's very, very like feasible.
I think this is as feasible as the Kun Druid that we saw. You needed 3 big smash legendaries to make it work. I think you can do this here. I think you can. Now, will it be tier 1 consistency? No. I give it a 7 out of 10 for sure. I think it's got the means. We've seen 3 different cards that can kind of support that, including in the early game, right? So let's say you're running, these big 5 attack smashers. You've got Elder Longneck, which is a 3 mana 5/1. Reads Battle Cry if you're holding a minion with 5 or more attack, adapt. So that's something you can play on turn 3. Pop quiz. Besides Jade Blossom, what does Druid play on 3? Answer, nothing. Nothing. They ramp through it, they ramp past it, or they hero power and play 1 drop. That's what Druid does. So having something like Elder Longneck makes it a little bit more viable. You look for health, you look for stealth, you look for poison, you look probably most importantly, health, stealth, and divine shield. Those are the 3 that I look for. You got a good chance, 3 out of 9 when you get to choose 3, and I think that's fine. You also have Tortolan Forager. It's a 2 mana 2/2 battle cry, add a random minion with 5 or more attack to your hand. Hey, boom, you're completing it right there. And you're getting, a bomb there. And then you've got Giant Anaconda. Now, this is a 7 mana, 5/3, but his Death Rattle is summon a minion from your hand with 5 or more attack. And the quest does say summon. I think that Blizzard has put in place a lot of ways to make this quest happen. I don't know if there's enough ways for it to happen with this expansion, but I do think there will be ones in the future. And JR, to your point, we will have an entire year where this card is in standard, but Jades are not. Because Mean Streets was the last expansion of 2016, and this is the first one in the Year of the Mammoth. So we will see that. So you know what? Let me be a little bit warmer on this. Because I think it's fun. Is it okay if we move on? Because we still have PvP to do. And I really want to see you guys PvP so hard. Anyways, the last one is the Vorax. It's a 4-mana 3/5. After you cast a spell on this minion.
You skipped the mage one, though.
Oh, I did, didn't I? It's because I forgot to do the cards. How about next week?
Yeah.
Or do we skip PvP? Or do we skip PvP? You guys got to choose.
I want to battle JR.
All right, good. The Vorax.
I feel like I could actually win that, and I'm not winning my player matches, so I need something for my own personal validation.
I hope Correl just crushes you, by the way.
Oh, he's going to.
I hope he does. The Vorax is a 4-mana 3/3. After you cast a spell on this minion, summon a 1/1 plant, and cast another copy on it. Hello, Paladin and Priest. Tannon, what do you think about this?
So this is one of those cards, 3/3 for 4, pretty unexciting, but it's going to lead to some pretty big and like unbelievable turns, right? Like you said, Paladin and Priest, anytime you put enough buffs on this, it's going to be great. Like if you start, giving it +2 health and drawing extra cards off of it, giving it +4/+4, so you start getting gigantic minions along with it, that's great. The problem is doing it all in one turn is going to cost a lot of mana, and you need to get to that point with this card and the buffs in your hands to get the payoff. So you're probably dying because you're not doing anything else. That's the only problem I have with it.
Fair enough. JR, what do you think?
This kind of reminds me of the sisters in TGT, where they got buffs when you cast spells on them, right? And
they got a lot of play.
I thought those cards, and everybody was like raving about how good those cards are going to be. And
I was one of them.
And then they never saw play. And I really feel like this is going to be the same thing.
But it is not different at all. Good point. Yeah, I think you're right. I hate to say it, but I think you're right.
As one of the people who personally thought the 3/4 sisters were going to be pretty good, so I'd say I'm a little bit intempering any expectation I have on a card like that in the future.
And then watch it be amazing because we called it.
Yeah, just because we're way wrong.
Watch it be the best card.
Let's talk about Open the Waygate for a second. So the mage quest is Open the Waygate. It's a quest that reads, cast 6 spells that didn't start in your deck, reward Time Warp. Time Warp is to take an extra turn. It's a 5-mana spell. What? How does, JR, can you first tell us how this works? Or Tannon, either of you, whoever you feel has a better grasp on this?
Oh, I'll let Tannon go because I know that me and him are probably both excited because this matches a certain card from Magic.
So just like its predecessor, Lightning Bolt, this is exactly a parallel Magic card. There is a 5-mana card that says take an extra turn. What's the name of it, JR? Do you know it?
Time Walk.
Yeah. Well, no. Time Warp is the 5-mana one. I mean, it's literally the same card.
Yeah.
From Magic to Hearthstone. So this is a pretty cool one. If you get this to go off, you win the game, pretty much. I mean, like someone's not coming back from this. Like, when's the last time someone disconnected from you? You got like a free turn, and then they came back and like you still lost. It just doesn't happen, right? Except you actually get like the mana buff on them too, as well. So this card is amazing if you get this to actually happen, and it's a little easier than some of the times in the past because there's cards that have been printed in a set to help it out as well, and those cards aren't terrible. It's not like you have to go through hoops to make this happen. So I actually like this one. It's going to be cool. It's going to lead to some really cool like interactions, some really cool wins, and I'm going to be playing this one myself because I look forward to playing cards like that in the game because that's fun for me, like discovering stuff, getting new things, cards that aren't in my deck. Like I really liked Unstable Portal and stuff in the past. It gets to the esports moments and all the crazy stuff, but I think this card is very strong.
Cool.
I think the card itself, like if you pop off the quest, that is an amazing freaking quest. I rank it right up there with the Paladin one, probably even higher than the Paladin one. But to get there, like you have to build a deck around random spells, and that's really gonna be rough to play, play the babbling book and try to get something good and playable.
Win BlizzCon,
yeah, win BlizzCon with it, of course. But you can do it. It's possible. You just need a little bit of RNG on your side, and if you get it, it's gonna pay off in a big way.
Cool. You guys are way more ecstatic about this card than I am. I am like the least ecstatic about it. I'm like, how is it? Can you guys tell me how is it that much different than Coon?
You've never taken an extra turn in a game, have you, before?
Coon. I've played Coon Druid. Refresh my mana crystal.
Like,
you get two attacks.
Yeah.
Like, so I just get one.
So I just get to attack twice.
And sort of. You don't have to like actually pay mana
with
to do
random
it,
spells. I get to attack twice.
It rewards you for playing the game, though. Like, you're gonna play these cards in your deck that give you other things to do, and you're just gonna keep doing them. So it's not like you're like going out of your way.
It rewards you for playing the game.
Yeah.
Can you unpack that for me? What does that mean?
Okay, so like the taunt one, right? Like, you just have to play all these taunt minions, and like you can't win because like you're playing like 1/10s in your deck and 3/7s, and like you can't kill your opponent. But your other cards, these cards are more like aggressively statted, aggressively costed, and like honestly just better fitting on the curve. So like you're doing all these things that like you might be doing anyway. Like you're going to play Babbling Book in most of your mage decks anyway, right? You're going to play some of these cards in your decks anyway. So it's just rewarding you for playing the game that you were playing.
But
see, I like mage a lot. It's probably my favorite class, and I like doing these kinds of things because it feels like, other card games that I've played before, and I like this stuff. So it's just rewarding you for doing things you were going to do anyway.
Sure. Fine. Okay. You've convinced me, Tannon. Whatever. It's going to be a good card. Let's go into PvP so that JR can crush Tannon, and I'm going to be happy.
That's going to happen.
Player versus player. In Player vs. Player, two hosts face off in a spitfire battle of Hearthstone knowledge and wits. Each battle consists of 3 rounds of predetermined topics. Within each round, each participant has 90 seconds to make their argument. After all 3 rounds, the victor is chosen as this week's PvP champion. The PvP champion will bask in their glory until next week, when they will become judge in the Player vs. Player arena.
Eldorian Cook versus Tannon Graves.
I was not ready for that.
I wasn't either. I was doing it live because I don't have Casey in the studio to record your name. So I don't have your name recorded. So I had to come up with a solution, and that's how I solutionified this thing. So this week on Player versus Player, we've got 3 topics. The first is the most improved class in Un'Goro. The second is the most underrated class in Un'Goro. And third is the best legendary in Un'Goro. Did I get those right? I got those right? I got those right?
Yep.
You guys are prepared for those? Good. All right. So,
I think so.
Tannon, you are the newest member of the show. Naturally, you're going to get first rights here. So, you've got 90 seconds. It's actually 75, but 90 hypothetical seconds to make your argument, starting with most improved class in Un'Goro. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. You've got 75 seconds to go ahead. Give us your best points. I'm going to buzz you in, and then you're ready to go. Starting now.
Most improved class. I'm going to go with Shaman. Big surprise, because it's actually losing a lot of its best cards coming into the future with Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem leaving. So it needed something to kind of replace it because it's losing its identity. It no longer has these really early game threats. And the Jade stuff can be a little slow if you aren't doing anything for the first couple turns of the game. And now we're getting all these really awesome elemental cards, right? And they seem to fit in Shaman better than anything. Like Shaman's got a legendary elemental lord that's going to be really good. It's got a couple cards that are just for it that makes 2-3 taunt elementals. You can reduce the cost of your elementals in this. You can even get some that have taunt and restore hero powers. I'm sorry, they restore health here too as well. So I think this is, with the set coming out, when you don't look at the cards, it was one of the most hurt classes. And then this one adds the most playable cards to a class out of the set.
Is that it? Are you ending your 75 seconds right there?
Mic drop.
Mic drop. The rope is playing, so that's not bad. It's not bad. That's not bad. Fair enough. So you say Shaman, which minus 3 points already for bringing up Shaman in 2017. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. JR, you're up next. JR, are you ready?
Yep. Let's do it. So my most improved class is actually going to be Hunter, because Hunter has been at the bottom of the barrel for like this, for a while now, sadly. And Hunter really doesn't gain much in Journey to Ungoro. It does gain some awesome beast synergy. So we might be seeing some really cool beast hunter stuff. It gains in my opinion, one of the best legendaries in the set with Swamp King Dread, which I definitely think every Hunter is going to play. But the reason why Hunter is going to be better than what it is, it may not be tier 1, but I think it's going to be a good solid deck, is the fact that Hunter isn't losing anything. Like, Reno's going away. Dragon Priest is going away. Shaman is still going to be good. I mean, I don't even know why Shaman would be the most improved, because it's still going to be good, because Shaman still has a lot of good stuff with it. Pirate Warrior is still going to be a thing, but Hunter is going to rise up. It's not going to be tier 1, but it's going to be a very solid deck. Now with these 1-drops coming in that you can play, and if you want to play the quest, which I think you're going to be goofy if you want to.
Shut up. Shut up, JR.
Face Hunter.
It's enough.
Face Hunter.
You did not bring up Face Hunter.
Smork.
Oh my God. All right. So we have Shaman versus Face Hunter here. Fair enough. This is a difficult one. I need like a gong, boing, to make my ruling here. So before I do, though, I want to hear a little smack talk between you guys. I want to hear, before I even rule on round 1, Tannon, do you think that your answers for these 3 rounds are better than JR's, so much so that you will be the PvP champion?
I don't think I know. Because if that's his argument for the first one, then I've already got this one, because he's arguing that a class that's unplayable gets a couple playable cards and it becomes the most improved class, but it's still unplayable. I'm talking about a class
that a class that is already good is still going to be good.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You can't take someone that's like dead last in the standings, right? Give them like a few more wins. They're still dead last in the standings. Yeah, they improved, but just because another team was a higher rank and improved by a bigger percentage doesn't mean they improved less. Like, that's not how math works. Like,
dang!
You said many, many times, Tannon, that you are not a number scientist, so you cannot tell me that is not how math works.
Dang. Well, I got my ruling for this first one, and unfortunately, Tannon, I'm going to have to put it in the favor of JR's. I believe in the logic that Hunter has improved greatly, hypothetically, for this next expansion. It's got some really strong cards. It's got a hero power now that can support that. I'm all about that. So it's going to be JR 1-0. Congratulations, JR. That does mean, though, that you are going first in round 2. Round 2 is going to be the most underrated card in Ungoro. JR, are you ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
So I feel like the most underrated card in Ungoro is actually Dynasize, which is the 8-mana Paladin card that sets a minion's attack and health to 10. I've argued about this on the show before, that I think it's a great card. And now that we've seen like the Paladin quest where you can use Dynasize with that quest because you're playing it on, a minion that you control. Now, granted, if, you want to play the quest that late, That's kind of rough, but Galvadan is a pretty awesome card anyway. But anyway, Dynasize though, like I can see this totally being played with the Blue Gill Warrior. Give it charge, have a 10/10 taunt on turn 10, or if you put it out like later, like if you have a Tyrion on turn 8 or something else, on turn 7, and then your 1/1 little silver agent dude, then you can make him a 10/10 even bigger in Smash Face. And if you have Adapt, on turn 9, you can give it. You can even make it like Wind Fury and stuff like that.
Shut up. Shut up. Dino Size. A 10 or 8 mana, an 8 mana paladin spell is going to be JR's most underrated card in Ungoro. Tannon, I think you're going to have an easy job with this one, as long as your answer is semi-competent. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. A judge shows no bias. Tannon, are you ready? Most underrated card in Ungoro? All right. You're up.
Bring it. All right. My most underrated card is Bittertide Hydra. It's a 5 mana 8/8, and whenever it takes damage, you get 3 damage dealt to your hero. Now, the reason I think this is the most underrated card is, in the past, we've seen these overstated minions for cheap prices actually start to show up in decks and be really good. I'm thinking of like Fel Reaver earlier in the game, when it would like burn away your deck. People were like, oh, it's such a big drawback, but we found out that it actually wasn't. And if you can get an 8/8 on board and they can't kill it with a spell, you never lose the board for the rest of the game. It's worth at least 2 to 3 of your opponent's minions, or something like 16 damage to their face. Now, since it's a neutral, you can play it in any deck you want. Think about playing this as early as turn 2 or 3 in Druid. If your opponent doesn't have a way to kill it right away, they're dead. And so I think this card is the most underrated card because no one's talking about it right now, and it's definitely going to show up in Constructed quite a bit.
You got to keep talking, dude.
Nah, man, I'm good. Short, sweet, and to the point.
You can't do that. I'm docking you -8 points every second.
I probably still beat JR's argument then on this one.
Dang, he said it. He said it. All right, so we've got Dino Size versus Bittertide Hydra. Now, this one's tough for me because I don't like Tannon giving me lip during PvP. However, Tannon, I think you're right, dude. I think it's time for Fel Reaver 2.0, and I think this is the way to do that. And I think that there's some really interesting classes that can run that. So in this case, we're gonna go 1-to-1 here, boys and girls. It's going to be Tannon Grace 1, JR 1. Well done to both of you. We're going into round 3, and then we're going to finish up the show. Round 3 is the best legendary in Ungoro. JR, because you lost, you're going to be going second. Tannon, that means that you are up first. Tannon, are you ready?
I am.
All right, Tannon, you're up. Go.
So, my pick for best legendary is Kalamos Primal Lord. It's an 8 mana 7/7 elemental that reads Battle Cry. If you played an elemental last turn, cast an elemental invocation. Now there's like 4 different ones that do all kinds of great stuff. They heal you, they buff stuff, they do all kinds of cool stuff. They all seem pretty playable. But this is the reason I think this is good is it's a good card from this set, a good legendary that's going to go in one of the best decks. All the other ones, like, you're going to have to like build your entire deck around doing something that's not very good. Like, this actually is just the best card in one of the best new cards that goes into the best deck that's going to happen after this one. So it actually helps make all the elementals in this set playable, while all the other kind of legendaries in the set, they don't really excite me. If I want to build around it, it seems like my deck's going to be kind of bad, while this one seems like the best build around card in the set, hands down.
You got to keep, dude, you got to keep going, man. You gave me 30 seconds.
Hold on. Shaman's great. Elementals are great. John Hortzman's great. Wellmet's great. JR's medium. Yeah, you get to kind of like curve out. It's actually your curve topper in the deck.
Minus 15 points for flattery. Minus 15 points for flattery. So Tannon is going to say Kalamos, which Interesting. You're going all in on Shaman this week. It didn't turn out well for you for round 1. So we're going to have to see if JR can come back here. It's 1-1. JR, you have to convince me not to give this to Tannon here. Do you feel ready for this challenge?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's go ahead and do it then. Best legendary in Ungoro, go.
So I have the best legendary. We have the greatest legendary that Hunter has ever seen, and that is Swamp King Dread, which is a 7 mana 9/9. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. And it's the greatest legendary that Hunter has ever had. And because of that, my friends, this is why it is number 1 and better than Shaman. Because this is basically, like, get this. This is basically like building a wall, guys. This is like building a wall for their minions. They're going to play their minions, and their minions are not going to be able to get into your face. Because Swamp King Dread is going to protect you against those minions. You're just going to play it. Your opponent's going to go, I don't know what to do, my friends. I'm going to play a minion, and Swamp King Dread is going to immediately kill it. There is no other card out there that does what Swamp King Dread does in 2017, my friends.
Oh my god.
I want to say something before you make a ruling here.
All right, Tannon, say something. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Hold the thing. That's round 3. We had Swamp King Dread versus what was it? The Elemental Lord.
Mine was so
Calamos.
great, you can't even remember.
Calamos, yeah. So we had those two go head to head. I need to hear some final smack talk before I make a ruling here. And because Tannon's ready to say something, JR, you're gonna get first bout here, my friend. I do you have any smack talk? Do you have any last words that you want to say to Tannon before you, in your opinion, take this PvP?
I just wanted to say that I will never get tired of winning.
You will never.
That's all I want to say.
Get tired
of winning.
Oh God. Tannon, please say something.
I'm not sure how I feel, because there's part of me that wanted to concede after hearing JR's argument for Swamp King Dread, because not only did he do it like in role play, but he was so committed to it that the speech pattern was on, the hand gestures were on. I wish the camera was on me at some point in time, because I think I shed a tear. I was laughing so hard, my face was beet red. With that being said, I don't know if that should gain you points or dock you points, depending on, how John wants to see this with the way that, things have been going on the show. But I will say this. I loved that. Other than that, come on. That card sucks. My card's great.
Wow. All right. Well, that was great smack talk. This is difficult for me. Because
well done, JR, by the way.
JR, your argument was very topical. I know exactly what you were trying to emulate there. And I thought it was very funny. At the same time, Tannon, you actually put thought and effort into your argument, which is important. But it's not about that. It's not about who makes so-and-so laugh. It's not about who did the most research. It's about the right answer. And in this situation, I'm going to have to say the first PvP champion of 2017, the week before Ungoro is released, is going to be, congratulations, Tannon Grace.
Yes. Ship it. Suck it, JR. How's it taste to lose?
Dang.
I know you never get tired of winning, but do you ever get tired of losing? Because it happens a lot.
Oh, my word. He said it. So, Tannon, this is your first victory. What that means is that you get a little bout. You get a little victory dance. You get to say whatever you want as like a victory speech. And JR can't say anything. He can't say anything to it. So, Tannon, what would you like to say to your fans out there in the crowd?
I'd like to thank everyone at home that believed in me, that knew I could do this. I know that they've watched PvP in the past, and they knew that I'm the rookie on the show when it comes to PvP. And JR had a lot of wins in the past. He had a lot of experience. And, you know, I had to have a lot of fortitude to come in here and just take this from him, just to take it from him. And I couldn't be scared. I had to commit. I had to do my research. I went deep into thought about this set. I read the spoiler multiple times. I consulted other people. You know, I went with my gut here, and it was Shaman again in 2017. And Shaman took me to victory, and boy, does it taste sweet to come in here as a relative unknown into PvP and come away with the championship. And I can't wait to defend it in the future or to crown a loyal and deserving champion. Also, I got to say, good work by my opponent, JR. He fought valiantly this week. He was amazing, but you can't keep up with the Tannon Grace.
Wow.
I do want to follow up on this.
No, you don't get to. You don't get to.
I need to have
are you going to override the host? Fine. Override the host. You got it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Follow up, JR, no, please.
I just wanted to say that I feel like this competition was rigged and that I should have won.
Recount.
And our listeners will back me up on this. And we will together, friends, we will make Hunter face again.
And we have hung up on JR. I have hung up on JR. That's how that happens.
Is this gonna be like the new weekly thing? We're gonna hang up on JR.
That's a new thing. We just hang up on JR now on this show. Thank you all so much for hanging out. For episode 103. I love PvP, man. It's so much fun. Thank you. Hachi says in chat, Tannon spent all his extra time coming up with that speech. He might have put more time into the victory speech than he actually put into his arguments. However,
that's true, actually.
That legendary rant, man. I just, JR, there's so many good legendaries. Anyways, let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for hanging out for episode 103 of Well Met. We really appreciate you being here. If you have thoughts, questions, topics you'd like to see discussed on the show, send us an email to wellmet@blizzpro.com. Make sure to be hanging out on our social media at Wellmet Podcast and at BlizzPro. There's going to be some cool stuff coming into your Twitter feeds this next week or two. So make sure to be prepared for that. And of course, who would we be without our friends of the show? Albert T, TheRealBen, Correl, and Viriatus. Thank you so much for your incredible, phenomenal, overwhelming support of the show. If you enjoy the show and you want to support, you're like, I don't need that Starbucks coffee. I don't need that nachos and guac with my burrito at Chipotle. You can, too, become part of the Well Met family. Get into our Patreon-only Discord by going to patreon.com/wellmetpodcast. This week, no new patrons. That's all right. That's okay. It's a busy month. But if you do want to help support the show, please head on over to patreon.com/wellmetpodcast and iTunes reviews. iTunes reviews help us get placed, but more importantly, it's a voice to the quality of podcast you think Well Met is. If you think it's an awesome podcast, people, when they're looking for Hearthstone podcasts, they type in Hearthstone in the iTunes store and they start looking and they start reading through those reviews. Your 5-star reviews mean the world to us. And they've honestly, there's something that really drive us and help validate the work that we're doing. We'd love to read your name on the show. Head on over to itunes.wellmet.blizzpro.com/reviews/ I'm just kidding. Go to the podcast app on your phone or tablet and type in Hearthstone, see Well Met. Go ahead and leave a 5-star review. JR will mispronounce your name on the show. No new iTunes reviews this week, but we do have some shout outs where you can find everyone. Tannon, as the victor, you're up first. Shout outs for the week and where people can find you throughout the week.
My shout out this week has got to go to JR for being gracious in defeat, being a worthy adversary, but just coming up a little bit short. And you can find me on Twitter at @TannonGrace, where I'll do more wrestling impersonations, possibly in the future.
Awesome. JR, what about you, man?
Man, I can't really think of any shout outs at the top of my head right now, but you can definitely follow me over on Twitter at Aldorian. I'm trying to be a little more active with tweeting. And maybe you can follow my my progress on this BB-8 behind me, and maybe eventually I get him to move his head around and beep and do fun things like that.
Nice. As for me, you can find me everywhere at Kick Tripod. I'm streaming 5 days a week, kind of 6 because the podcast counts, over at twitch.tv/KickedTripod and on Twitter at KickTripod as well. I would love to get to know you personally. Head on over to my Discord, discord.me, discord.me/KickedTripod. And I would love to get to know you more. Hang out with you in my Discord channel. We have awesome topics that we discuss every week. And I'm really trying really hard to get to 1,000 followers on Twitch. We're growing by about 40 a week right now. So we're outpacing a lot of people. I would love to hang out with you. So again, twitch.tv/KickTripod. Thank you so much. That's going to do it for another episode of Well Met. Email wellmet@blizzpro.com. Twitter @wellmetpodcast. Patreon, patreon.com/wellmetpodcast. Merch, store.blizzpro.com. And a special thanks to Jake Butineau for our music and Scythe Designs for our graphic design. We're going to be live right after this doing a little Tannon versus Correl and potentially Tannon versus Eric. We're doing these post podcast streams where we're doing kind of a little 1v1 action. If you want to get involved again, that's another Patreon perk that we're doing. Thank you all so much for your support and listening to Well Met. We'll see you next week.
Journey to Ungoro. How did you convince me to do this?